Anyone? You want one?
I'm okay, thank you.
All right, fine, whatever.
I'll take one after. Salty.
One-time offer.
Thank you, Kev.
Need to wash that chalky
Did
taste.
you just call me Caroline again? You did no such thing, Brandon. I'm just kidding with you. I'm trying to lighten the moment here, Brandon. Don't cry. Okay, sorry. She's with who? Okay. Yep.
How did it feel to let our 7 sacks or 8?
That's a good reporter question. That'll earn your trust. I hate when they ask that.
And it is.
Oh, he's such a smart ass.
Where is...
What you would be?
Yeah, if I was like an athlete, I'd be like, sure. Do better.
Why is Bosa not on the
I don't know, but he's got 3.
3 sacks?
2 minutes? 2 minutes?
How many total
7.
Today.
for the team?
He had
7?
4 going in. Oh, for the team, I don't know.
7.
7.
7 sacks. 58.
That should be on mute. For sure.
2 minutes.
3 turnovers.
Didn't mean to say it's a good game.
Man, I'm over 3 in football this weekend. For my team.
Hey, you guys lost to Tennessee. That was my game.
Hmm?
Tennessee was my game that I prepped.
It was awesome.
Who produced that?
Sco.
Ah. Everybody to Panthers Postgame Live. After the bye week, we've gotten the band back together. Kevin Donnelly, Mike Tolbert, I'm Taylor Davis. Well, guys, this was a tough one. You can tell we're a little somber in here. The Panthers fall to the 49ers 51-13. Heading into this one, guys, we knew this was going to be a very, very tough test, an undefeated 49ers team, and today we saw why. What challenges did they present to the Panthers today?
Well, I think we saw a dominant defense on the other side of the ball. You know, we know the Panthers defense can be dominant at times, but this defense is ferocious. It's something that we haven't seen in a long time. We haven't faced a defense of this caliber, and these guys prove that they are deserving to be 7-0 right now.
Yeah, I think when you look at the NFL, the state it's in right now, basically it's the Patriots and the 49ers. Those two defenses are playing lights out this year. And the 49ers, you know, they won me over today. I was not a big believer in them looking at their schedule. And Jimmy Garoppolo, it's been so much of the run game, not the passing game. It's been so successful. And they just executed their game plan perfectly. They had a great plan going into it. The defense, like you said, it was just ferocious. They got after our quarterback and limited some big plays on offense that we're used to seeing. And really for the Panthers, it's come back and try and just regroup. It's just one game. It's not really like what we've seen from the Panthers this season. I think it's something they can bounce back from, but a tough one today, tough.
Definitely. In the words of our producer, Brandon, we're not going to dwell on this and we're not going to sugarcoat this. So we're going to talk all about this loss. But first, let's send it back out to San Fran, catch up with Bill Voth and Caroline Can.
Well, Taylor, Caroline, one of those days, huh?
Yeah, it was. I mean, nothing was working for the Carolina offense, defense, special teams today. And they got behind early, and they were never able to work themselves back into this game, even though they did come out of that second half. Wasn't a good opening drive, but they were able to get a couple of things going, but the damage was done. They were not able to ever catch up to the 49ers today.
Coming into the game, Ron Rivera said it would be won at the point of attack, and it was. The 49ers won that, as you said, really from the jump. Panthers had all sorts of problems dealing with the Niners' misdirection. And then offensively, Kyle Allen, 160 throws to begin his career without an interception, and then 3 today. Wasn't given a lot of time from his offensive line either.
No, it wasn't. Everyone that I've talked to so far after this game, you said it, they're as advertised. You knew the 49ers were good, but they didn't know that this was going to happen. Everyone a little bit shocked, definitely disappointed, and now you got to get on a flight, long flight back home.
51 points is the third most the Panthers have ever given up in franchise history. They gave up 52 in Pittsburgh last year. So what's key now this week is, because we know what happened after Pittsburgh last year, not to let that happen again.
Hey, it's just one loss. You still have a winning record and a long season to go. The Carolina Panthers must bounce back.
Taylor, guys, back to you.
Thank you, guys. Well, as they said, a very difficult day for this offense. Kyle Allen and Christian McCaffrey, the guys really had a hard time bringing anything that was successful to the 49ers defense. When you look at what this offense came into the game trying to execute and how it didn't necessarily translate to the field, how difficult is that, and how do you kind of walk away from that still encouraged by what this team could be?
Well, you look at it, you look at what the Panthers have been doing on this 4-game win streak. They've been running the ball successfully. They've been getting the ball into the hands of their playmakers. Today wasn't able to do that. I mean, today Christian had 117 rushing yards, 8.4 per carry. We expect that from him, but we need other guys in these other positions to step up and continue to make plays. And today it just wasn't our day. Sometimes it goes like that. In the NFL, it's just not your day sometimes.
Yeah, and I think with Kyle Allen being a younger quarterback, just his 5th start, I believe, so with his situation and that defense getting after it pretty early, getting a sack early in the game, and then all the pressure that they were bringing, it just made it tough for the offense because we knew this defense would be tough against the run, and we have limited opportunities there. And there were so many 3rd and long situations. The 3rd down conversions was terrible today. I think it was 15%, something like that. So the 49ers really did a great job taking us out of the game plan that we typically want to do, be able to run the ball, control the clock, get up on the other team, at least keep it really close, because when this team has gone into halftime with a lead, they come out and they win the game. When they're down that many points, it's a tough haul to put all that weight on your quarterback and say, get us back in this game. So it really got us out of sorts from the very beginning, and I think that's just what kind of snowballed into such a big lopsided loss.
Well, certainly the toughest test that this Panthers team has had to face so far this season. Well, now we're going to send it back out to the press conference in San Francisco. Head coach Ron Rivera is there now.
Well, things got away from us when we missed opportunities to get off the field on 3rd down. And that was tough, unfortunately. And then, they get a little bit of a lead, and then you can make some things happen.
What were they doing on the ground that was working so well for them?
Well, we were getting out of our creases, and they were blocking us out of our creases. And, it's just one of those things. I'm going to take a look at the tape, and we'll go from there. But, I'm not going to sit here and criticize. I'm going to take the blame, okay? We got beat by a better football team today. On me as the head coach to make sure we do things the right way, okay? Whatever happened on that football field will be corrected, and that's all we can do. I'm not going to look back, and I'm not going to put blame on anybody but myself. It's that simple. Well, the biggest thing more so than anything else that we talked about is we got to learn from this, okay? There's some things that happened on the tape that we got to get corrected, and that's the truth of the matter. And, as I said, I'm going to take the responsibility, and we're going to move on from there.
Kyle always comes out a pretty even field guy. Do you think that he started off today as normal? Did you see anything different considering he said this was the biggest test for him?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, once you got behind the 8 ball a little bit, I think he pressed, tried to make some throws that, that he probably didn't need to. I think there's some other throws he could have made, but again, he was trying to win a football game.
How about the decision to switch up your tackles going into this game, and where you feel about that position specifically going?
Well, we have some young guys that we feel can play the position as well, and we got to make sure we work everybody in and give everybody the opportunity to grow and develop, and that's kind of where we are with the young tackles.
Was that a tall task for a guy like Dennis?
Oh, it's a tall task for anybody. They've got a good pass rush. They're a good football team, and let's be honest about that as well. I think, you watch the things that they do, you watch it on tape. It's a tall task for any tackle, left or right, young or old, rookie or veteran.
Do you feel like today showed a gap for where you guys are in terms of being a good football team?
I think what it showed us is that what's it going to take to be a good football team, the things that we got to look at and get corrected, become a good football team. I think we're still a very good football team. I just think today we missed some opportunities. Freaking third play of the game. We're about to get off and the ball ricochets and guy makes a play. So again, that's the fortunes of football. The ball didn't bounce our way today. They made some plays. We didn't make plays.
Hey, Ron, what were they doing to counter your own pass rush today?
Threw the ball quickly. They threw some screens. We were very aggressive up front. That's the nature of our front 4 or 5. Those guys attack. They go, and they got us early on with a couple of screens. And, it's something that we've got to feel and we've got to see better.
You mentioned taking some of the blame for the game today. How did you feel about the effort that you got from the players?
I thought the effort was – I didn't think there was a problem with the effort. It's tough. It's tough when you get down like that, okay? They played hard. The guys went out there and showed up, did the best they could. And, again, we ran a little bit of a buzzsaw. The 49ers are a good football team. You got to give them credit. They showed up and did some good things against us, and we showed up and tried to fight and counter it. We came out in the second half right off the bat and scored a touchdown, got a safety and scored a touchdown, try to put ourselves back in the game. But, unfortunately, we didn't capitalize when we had a chance.
Ron, because of the points allowed, there will be comparisons to last year's
Yep.
game. How do you make sure that doesn't happen again?
By winning. That's all we can do is just go out and prepare and, give ourselves an opportunity to win a game and then go out and win it. It's that simple. I mean, whatever happens, happens. But the truth of the matter is, we've got to go out and do it. And there's no secret to it. It's like I told the guys, there's no secret to winning or losing this game other than the fact that you've got to go out and play your best. And you can't make mistakes. You got to capitalize when you get opportunities. That's it. I mean, it's not very difficult. This game is not a hard game. But you also got to understand that, those guys in the other locker room, they get paid too. So you just got to be better than them.
Ron, you mentioned the misdirection and how effective it was and getting in the creases and everything. Was it something different than what you guys prepared for, or is that just not staying disciplined in the lane?
Well, again, like I said, I'm not criticizing anything. I'm going to take a look at the tape, and I'll have an opinion for you on that. But, again, it starts with me, and that's the way I'm going to approach it. I'm not going to sit here and try and give you guys answers without really getting a chance to break it down and see what happened and why. Yeah, again, just trying to get him used to playing with the cast and having had the procedure done a week ago. So, he'll learn how to play with it, and, we'll go from there.
Ron, the decision to not make Dorchak.
Again, he's a guy that we're still working into things. He's a young player. He's going to get opportunities, and, it's just a matter of time.
Ron, there's going to be a lot of questions with Cam. Where is he right now? Where is the situation?
Cam is still rehabbing. Doesn't have to be a lot of questions either, just so you know that. I'll tell you guys where he is on Monday. I'll tell you where he is on Wednesday. Don't need to ask after that, to be honest with you.
Ron, update on Jarius?
He went back in the game, so my understanding is that he took a pretty good shot, but he was able to come back.
Was there something that you saw from Darryl in that first series that led you to bring Dennis back in at tackle?
No, not necessarily. We wanted to get Dennis in there and give him an opportunity to play a little bit, and we also knew Darryl was going to go in and probably play some right guard as well. So again, we just we wanted to have a plan, and I thought we did have one for him.
Ron, a couple of the sacks that looked like maybe Kyle held on to.
Yes, and that goes back to what I said earlier. I think he tried to do a little bit more than he needed to. The thing that young players have to understand is there's no 24-point play. You've got to make them one play at a time, and you've got to make them one score at a time, and take what they're giving you. If they're giving you 5-yard checkdowns, take the 5-yard checkdown. And then he's a young quarterback and he's learning. He's done a great job for us, as a starter, he's 4-1. So he's going to learn from this, just like we'll learn from this. I'll learn from this. Like I always tell you guys, I'll go back, take a look at the tape, and make sure we were doing the things that we needed to do to give these guys a chance. And if not, we got to correct them.
Hey, Ron, in terms of the misdirection, I know you have to go reevaluate and rewatch everything. But early on, did you get a sense that guys were maybe a little overeager on certain things they saw?
Yes, very much so. And again, as I said earlier, they got us on screens. I mean, we were very aggressive in terms of our pass rush. It's in our nature. We coach our guys to go, and we made an adjustment a little bit later to slow it down. But that's the thing you have to be able to do. If you can slow their run game down, then it changes the whole thing. If not, if they're running the ball effectively, you've got to deal with everything they have, and that's exactly what we got today.
You feel like the preparations were on par for what you saw today, or was there some wrinkles that you guys experienced today?
I thought our preparation was pretty good. They hit us on a couple of plays that we practice. We literally practice. But, sometimes you got to give the other team credit as well. I mean, there's a reason why they're 7-0.
Ron, was the wind a factor at all in the passing game?
No. The wind wasn't that much of a factor. Probably the only real time you saw it was we had a couple of deep shots where the ball drifted away from the guys. One drifted out of bounds. One drifted more to the middle. But the short passing game wasn't. I don't think it was that big of a deal. All right, cool. Thank you.
Well, as Coach said at the very beginning, I think he put it simply, we just got beat by a better football team today. And when we were watching the game, both of you guys said, sometimes you're watching a team and you can just tell they have it. What is standing out about this 49ers team that made you both feel that way?
Well, I think you look at them, they look the part. I was a part of that 2015 Panthers team.
Mm-hmm.
We started 13-0, 15-1 on the season. And there was something about that locker room that you could feel, and I see that with the 49ers now, and it's interesting to see how far they're going to go.
Yeah.
I really look at the 49ers, and it's a very complete team, and they're playing with so much confidence right now. You could just see that big plays beget even bigger plays as this game wore on. Every time the Panthers looked like they tried to get back in this game, Coach Rivera talked about, the quick 10 points right after halftime with the safety, the touchdown 2-point conversion. And then they come right back and answer with a touchdown. And that's the type of team that's just playing with a lot of confidence. It's feeling, just a real big belief in what the coaches are coaching. The players are doing what they need to do. They were active, flying around, everybody. I just was impressed with the speed. So right from the beginning, you could tell this was going to be an all-day sucker for the Panthers, and they really could not seem to get anything going.
Yeah, no shortage of star power on this team, too. From 4 touchdowns from running back Tevin Coleman, 3 sacks from Nick Bosa, the play of Jimmy Garoppolo and how that is evolving. This team has all the pieces, like we said. What is something that this Panthers team could take away from facing such a stacked team like the 49ers?
The main thing that I think they could take away from it is learning how to play with each other. You see how the 49ers offense breeds confidence from what their defense does on the field, and their special teams coming down and breeding confidence from turnovers and things like that. Each phase of the games for this 49ers team is really gelling together.
Yeah, and I think for the Panthers, it's really about honing in on who the starting 5 will be for the offensive line. I think they've gotten away with, they've played really well offensively, and the offensive line has done a very good job. But Christian McCaffrey's covered up a lot of mistakes. He's made so many brilliant plays, and I think it caught up to him today. When you face a defensive line like the 49ers have, with the guys that can stop the run and get after the passer, and they've got two platoons, they're just shuffling guys in and out. You put that combination together, I'd like to see this offensive line, I think, with some guys coming back, hopefully Greg Little's back, and they can figure out what's that starting offensive line. So they finished the 9 games of this year with a set 5, barring injuries, obviously, but get that in order, and I think that will be able to help Cam Newton or Kyle Allen, whoever's behind their quarterback, and get the points you need, because sometimes teams are going to light you up a little bit. You got to be able to come back with some firepower. You're not always going to shut them down like the Panthers have done, say, against the Bucs a couple of weeks ago with 7 turnovers, 7 sacks. That's a rarity. Today, they pick up 3 sacks, they got a turnover, but listen, you got to put some points on the board, and they couldn't do it today.
Well, let's get some player insight on this one. We're going to send it back out to Caroline Can, who is with guard Greg Van Roten.
I'm here with GVR, and I know this is not the game that any of you expected, but how did you guys were you able to get going out there? Did it ever feel like you guys were in a rhythm?
No, it didn't. They were as advertised on defense. They're really good up front.
Their offense limited our possessions, and we made a lot of mistakes, a lot of self-inflicted wounds. We got to watch the tape, and we got to learn from it. And at the end of the day, it's one loss, and we just got to go home and get a win at home.
Well, it's a long flight back home with this group that you have on offense and defense going out. And was this a shock to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you don't expect to get blown out coming off a bye like this. So definitely a shock, but I don't think it's indicative of who we are as a team. I think it's an anomaly, and I think we're going to respond.
Great. Thank you so much, GBR.
Love hearing from those big offensive linemen, right, Mike? They're going to get things straightened out. They'll have this plane ride home. They'll wash this one away and figure out what they need to do to get better, especially on the offensive side. Let's talk a little bit about the San Francisco 49ers. We don't want to break down their film, but when you have a day like they had, let's break it down a little bit. First, offensively with their run game, 232 yards rushing today. This particular play that we're about to look at here, you're going to be able to see a guard's going to be pulling this way. They're going to try and reach here and really aim for this spot. But Mike, the running back, does a fantastic job here as you watch this play go a little bit of making a tremendous cut.
Absolutely. So what you're looking at right now.
Pause it right there.
If you pause it right there. You see this guard right here was supposed to kick this guy out. This center was supposed to keep Vernon Butler on this side of the ball. And the ball was supposed to go right up this gap. But as you let it run, you see Vernon Butler did a good job of putting his head on the front side A gap. And you have to have somebody right there in the backside. And this running back just made a good cut, got upfield, and didn't get touched.
No, when you can get that line washed down a little bit and you make that cut, there's no one really to stop him, especially when you have speed like Coleman has. We've seen him too many times in Atlanta. But let's check out the defensive side here. As you're looking at this, there's going to be some guys dropping into the picture here, and they're really going to look to rush something from this side. They're going to bring a blitzer here. Off the outside, they're even going to cross some guys in here, and I point all that out because, listen, what's going to happen is the pressure comes from somewhere else. It's Nick Bosa over there. What a tremendous one-on-one play he made.
Right, but we got to understand the way defenses work. When you bring pressure off each side, on one side, there's going to be one-on-ones, right? And you, at a certain point in time, you just got to beat your man. And Nick Bosa did that this time.
Yeah, and watch this play. He's able to just manhandle Daly a little bit here as a young player. He gets his hands on him really nice right there, but then he does such a good job disengaging, knocking the hand off, and keeps surging forward. A lot of times, defensive ends, if they're speedier guys, you can redirect them. Right. Bosa, you cannot redirect. He's going right to the quarterback. A good play by him. Good job by the San Francisco 49ers. I want to be done talking about them.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, let's kick it back out to the West Coast, Levi's Stadium. We got James Bradbury. Let's hear from him.
I'm here with the CPI voice of the defense, James Bradbury, and not the outing that you guys expected, anyone expected. Was it the misdirection, or what was it that was giving you guys some fits today?
It's a little bit of everything. We just got to bow up and make plays, and we didn't do that on defense. So that's pretty much it.
We saw some frustrations today, Luke Kuechly, Trey Boston, a lot of those guys. But you did get Dante Jackson back there, and he was trying to light a fire a little bit underneath there. But was it difficult to get back into a rotation or a routine with him or a rhythm with him back there?
It was just difficult with the explosive plays they had. We make a good play here and there, and then they would come out with an explosive play. So as long as we would stop the explosive plays, then we should fare well. Of course, we didn't fare well today because we didn't stop it. So.
Well, of course, it is a long season. This is one game. You can't look too much into it. But how much attention do you put on this game to them to be able to rebound?
Well, you start off on Monday. You go in there, watch the film, and then you make corrections to your mistakes, and then you move on to the next game. It's pretty much the life of the NFL. You got to move on.
So it's just like any other week.
Move on to Tennessee. Let's get a win.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. We are now going to join in with the press conference. Quarterback Kyle Allen takes the podium now.
Kyle, you said you felt like the score kind of got out of hand. You thought you were trying to do a little too much and can't score 24 points on one play. Does that match up with your assessment of kind of how things went?
Yeah, I mean, I was just inaccurate with the ball today, I think. I think in the second half, you saw a couple get away, and those turnovers in that third quarter, I think, was just put our team in a bad position. And you're not going to win games if you're turning the ball over and the other team's getting the ball inside the 20. I mean, it's just putting our defense in a really bad position. So, yeah, it just didn't come out the second half the way we needed to.
Sorry if you've already been asked this, but Ron said at some points it looked like you're trying to look for that like 24-point play.
He just asked the same exact question. Yeah.
Things have gone so well for you in those first four starts. What do you do now to kind of deal with this adversity, and how do you regroup?
It's football, man. stuff's not always going to go your way. So I think as a team, we're going to learn from this film. We're going to learn from what we did, and it starts with me especially. I'm going to learn from what we did, and we're just going to move on from it and not make the same mistakes twice. We're a really good football team. I know that. Today didn't show that. I didn't play to the ability. I didn't put our team in position to win the game. And like I said, it starts with me. So we're going to go look, see what we did wrong, figure it out, and we're going to keep pushing forward.
What were you seeing out there as far as the pressure that was coming at you?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't blitz much. Their D-line just did a really good job of rushing, and I tried to come into the game and get the ball out of my hand quick as much as I could, but D-line did a really good job. Hats off to them. They're a talented group.
Kyle, were there a couple of those sacks where maybe you held on the ball a little long or just trying to make a play?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of sacks were completely on me. Just get the ball out of my hand or get it to the check down.
How hard is it on you guys offensively where you kind of had a lot of flux at that left tackle position?
I don't think that matters. I think we have a lot of good players that can play that left tackle position and the right tackle position. I think Taylor was going back and forth. But we have a lot of talent there. I don't think it matters at all.
In the first half, what were kind of some of the issues, just being unable to get some momentum going?
Yeah, I think we were hurting ourselves a lot. I think if you look at our past 4 games that we won, the things that we did best were we stayed on schedule, we were in manageable third downs, we didn't have many penalties, and we were moving the ball efficiently. And I think today we just really got away from that. And like I said, that starts with me.
Kyle, if they asked you about this, I'm sorry, but could you walk us through the Bosa play?
Yeah, it's just a screen to the left and trying to get his hands down and cut him and get it over him. And he got his hands down, and I got out a little late, and I just didn't get it high enough. It's that simple. Made a great play. He's a great player. But, I can easily fix that by just getting some loft on it and getting over him. It's completely my fault.
How, just you guys as a team and you individually, how do you bounce back?
Just learn from it. It's a 16-game season. It's one game. We got to look at the film. We got to learn from it. We got to really see who we are as a team. Like I said, coming into this game, it's going to be a measuring stick of who we are as a team. So we're going to try and dig deep and really figure out what we did wrong and try and wash it away, but still keep that memory of today in our mind, keep that taste in our mouth, because today was not a good day for us. And I know how good we are as a team. I know how good we can be as a team, so we got to learn from it and keep pushing forward.
Because of the score and kind of the nature of the game, a lot of people will probably point to last year's Pittsburgh game, and that kind of began an unraveling for you guys as a team. How do you prevent that from happening, and do you see any similarity?
It's a totally new season, a totally different locker room. I think, the games are similar, but it's just different people. And, it's just like I said, we don't need to look back into last year. We just need to stick with this year. We need to learn from this game and not let this game skid us on a losing streak, because I know how good we are as a team. You've seen it this year. So we just got to learn from this and keep pushing forward.
Anything else for Bill?
Well, clearly a very frustrated Kyle Allen, understandably. But guys, heading into this game, the 49ers defense ranked 2nd in the league for total yards allowed per game. This offense knew this was going to be a very tough test. They came in prepared to stop Christian McCaffrey, which they did, and Kyle Allen not on his A game. Obviously, a lot of conversation is going to continue to surround Cam Newton as he continues his rehab, who is going to be starting at quarterback, but regardless who is back there, what aspects of this offense have to be executed well for the Panthers to regain success moving forward?
One thing, like Kevin touched on earlier, it all starts up front. You got to solidify that starting 5. You know who 3 to 4 of those 5 are already. You need to solidify that starting 5, not have it in the back of someone's mind, and am I coming out or am I going to stay in? What's going on with this or that? You start up front, you solidify that starting 5, and then you understand that everything else runs through Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and I agree with Mike. You can put some moving pieces up there on the offensive line, and there's been some injuries and guys moving around, obviously. But when you're going against, middle of the road defenses in the NFL, you can get away with some things, especially when you have great players like Christian McCaffrey and Samuel and DJ Moore. But when you go against elite defense, they're going to expose some weaknesses. They're going to find some areas where they can really get after you. And that's what I think this team did today with a lot of penetration in the running plays. They couldn't get much going in the ground. And then obviously the pressure they were able to put on the quarterback after building up a little bit of lead. So with this team, they just did a great job. I think the biggest thing with these guys moving forward, I'll say it also with Tolbert right now, is just get those big boys up front playing better. The running backs will play better, and the quarterback will be protected so much better. I think that's really one thing that they can focus on. All of them need to learn. All of them need to get better. It's a constant process throughout the season. Any player will tell you that. But for this team, get some things corrected because you don't want to run into this again. You may very well see them at the end of the year in the playoffs. Fortunately, the way this thing is going, they got a great record going right now. We might have to go right back out there, but what better way to get some sweet revenge, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
We
like that. Well, the way that GVR put it was probably best. Today was a shock, but not indicative of who this team is. They will bounce back, and the perfect opportunity to do that is a home matchup with the Titans next week. So everyone be sure and join us after the game here on Panthers Postgame Live. We will break it all down for you. Thanks for watching.
Nice.